Aya! Welcome! This is Records Roundup number 94. Quite a lot to show you today, and two male openings to do towards the end, so let's forego any preamble and just get cracking on with it. First up to show you a 7-inch single. This was from the German gothic rock magazine Sonic Seducer, and it is an exclusive 7-inch Blutegel, The Abyss and Fliegen. So Sonic Seducer, I've ordered from them before. They also did a exclusive Within Temptation 7-inch that I picked up. I think that was last year, and it came out, I think, maybe 2023. I believe this one is 2023 as well. Limited to 199 copies. I'm trying to determine what number that is that's written on the back. I'm not sure. That's a 7 in the middle. The version I've got here, then, a violet transparent version and a black one of just 99 copies. The one I have, and I think this was the only one that they had left in stock, is a transparent red. Not cheap, but it was about as good a price as I could get it by ordering from Sonic Seducer directly, rather than finding someone on Discogs who might have it. I also got a copy of the magazine it originally came with. Also should have come with a CD, mine didn't. I'm assuming they just ran out of CDs really. I mean, this magazine being getting on for 3 years old now. So a bit of a shame, as I did get a CD with the last Sonic Seducer magazine and 7-inch bundle, and it's a good compilation as well. They seem to release one every month. Obviously I can't really read this unless I fancy doing it whilst holding my Google Translate app in front of it throughout, but there we go. Thought I'd show you the magazine very quickly as well. Blutegel's double A side exclusive single from Sonic Seducer. We stick with Blutegel though, because this is a Discogs purchase, and it is a 12-inch single or an EP. I'll just take it out of this rather low quality protective sleeve there. This one's pretty old actually, No Eternity from 2004. I think this is just black vinyl. We might get it out and have a look at it. It's a limited edition of 777 copies, if you can see that down in the corner, although mine is classed as a promo. Not quite sure why, as there's no difference between a promo edition and the normal edition from what I could see anyway. This was from an Italian seller, I think. I'm starting to lose track actually. Yeah, it's just black vinyl, but there is 7 tracks on it, and those should be listed on screen there if you're interested. So that is now my oldest Blutegel purchase, and I just noticed that this is a gatefold actually. Quite unusual for a 12-inch single. Very nice, got lyrics in it and a bit of production and legal bump. Happy to be adding to my Blutegel collection. I have got something that's on its way from... Now, was that from Italy and this was from Germany? Like I say, it's difficult to keep track sometimes, country-wise. That hasn't arrived yet, so that'll get shown in the next Records Roundup, whenever that might be. But until then, this is No Eternity.
I never meant to make you cry. I couldn't stand the pain inside. I never want to let you die. I wish I could see your face again. I wish I could see your virgin smile. I couldn't take away your pain. I had to pay the price. Night is coming and there's nothing left to stay. Nothing changes, everything has gone away. No eternity, no hope for me and you. We close our eyes and we're fading away.
Sticking with Discogs Marketplace, here's an album that I've been wanting on vinyl, and I've been looking for it for a fair while now, certainly since I started doubling up on this act. I've collected them on CD for many years, and last year was when I started to double up with the LPs and a few select 12-inch singles as well. I'm talking about Pet Shop Boys Disco 2, second in their disco remix album series. This is an original UK pressing. It's not had a more modern reissue. Still missing numbers 3 and 4 on vinyl, but of course I have them all on CD 1 to 5. And you would have seen Disco 5, their latest release, on, I don't think that was the last Records Roundup, I think it was the one before. Quick look at this, but again it's black vinyl and not the most exciting centre label. All I'm really going to say about it, it's a great album. It's all segued or mega mixed together by Danny Rampling, I believe. And I'm very familiar with it, having owned it on CD for many years now. But lovely that I've now got what looks to be a half decent vinyl copy, Disco 2 from PSB. Right, on now to some pickups from Whatnot. There'll be some of you who know what Whatnot is. It's video auctions, basically. I've had the app for a few years now. They were very limited in the sort of things that people were selling on it up until fairly recently, and now you seem to be able to pick up almost anything, and there's been an influx of vinyl and CD sellers as well. So these two pickups, one of them is pretty impulsive. I mean, both of them aren't exactly essential. These were from a couple of auctions that I won from a seller on Whatnot. And the first one is the 7-inch single Elephant Stone by Stone Roses. B-side is The Hardest Thing in the World. Now you'll see on screen that I've listed this as the 1990 reissue, but ignore that, because this is, when I was doing my research, logging it into Discogs, the original 1988 release, which I was surprised about. I thought, because I got this for such a good price, and that would have been £12, I believe, I thought that this would be a later repressing, but it is the original 88 single on Silvertone Records. The reason I got this, I don't collect Stone Roses on vinyl, but I do collect New Order and Related on vinyl, obviously, and while I have this track on at least 2 or 3 CDs, I fancied getting the 7-inch because it's produced by Peter Hook, there's his credit there, and it is also my favourite Stone Roses single of all time as well. But really happy that it's the original one. It wouldn't have mattered. I mean, I expected it would be a 1990 repress, and it's got to look and sound the same anyway, really, I think. I thought that was a bit of a bargain because the prices for the original 7-inch on Discogs are considerably more than what I paid. So that is Elephant Stone. also from the same seller on Whatnot. This was something, he ran the auction and the starting price was £7 and no one bid on it, so it was just left as unsold. And I won Elephantstone, and then I said to the seller right afterwards in the chat box, if you run that album again, I'll bid on it, and you know, it's going to be only a few pence more in postage to get both the Stone Roses single and this. So he did run it. Quite annoyingly, someone did start bidding against me. So what I thought something I'd get for £7, I actually ended up paying 10, but £3 more. I'm not going to quibble really. It is, now that's what I call Music 13. Now, the reason I got this is more kind of nostalgia really. This and Now 10 was one of two Now That's What I Call Music compilations that I had on cassette when I was younger. Don't know why I didn't have any more, because I like the Now series. I used to have some on mini disc, which were very valuable, and I sold them for an incredibly good price some years ago. But when I saw this come up, and I was tempted to bid on it, but I didn't want to get it if I wasn't getting the Elephantstone single as well. Obviously hindsight is 2020. Used to love this on tape. I think Now 10 might be slightly superior, but I've not heard that in donkey's years, same as this. I'll go through a few of the artists who are on here, but I won't spend too long in it. Erasure, The Christians, Phil Collins, Art of Noise, Kim Wilde, Bomb the Bass, Wee Papa Girl Rappers, Yellow, who I'm a big fan of, Milli Vanilli, Level 42 with Heaven in My Hands. I think I've got that 7-inch actually. T'Pau, Duran Duran, Human League, All About Eve, and many more. It's a double album and it is gatefold. I won't bother showing you the vinyl. I do like this gatefold though, where it shows you, I think, is that the album covers for the artists or the single covers? No, I think it might be the album covers. Yes, it is. For the most part anyway. Probably a mixture saying that. £10, looks to be a nice clean copy, original from 1988. So quite old, but I'm sure it'll play fine. And for a tenner, bundled in with Elephantstone, I thought, why not? Now 13.
When I look into her eyes and see the girl that I used to be, I hardly recognize. 'Cause in the space of a year, I've watched the old me disappear. All of the things I once had, precious, just don't mean anything anymore. 'Cause suddenly you came, you changed the way I feel. No one could love you more because you came, turned my life around. No one could take your place. I've never felt good with permanent things. Now I don't want anything to change. You can't imagine the joy you bring. My life won't be the same.
And the last Whatnot purchase to show you from a different auctioneer. This was actually my first Whatnot purchase, at least in the vinyl realm. I know I bought a Funko Pop on Whatnot a few years ago, but we won't get into that because I know how some of you lot feel about Funko. This is one that goes well in a collection that I'm gradually building up, and it is McCartney 3, but one of the 3x3 editions. Lots of threes there. This is like a third anniversary issue of McCartney's 2020 solo album. I was in no massive rush for it, but the seller who had sold this had got a couple of copies and I'd missed out on one or two others, and then finally I got this, and I think my maximum bid was £20, but I availed of a 10% off voucher that I had on Whatnot, and I got this for 18, which I don't think's bad. And there again, it seems to go for a fair bit more than that on the aftermarket. So with these 3x3 editions, apparently you don't really know what kind you're going to get until you get it open, and I did get it open so I could log the correct variant in my Discogs database. So my edition comes with that. I think this is exclusive to this pressing. Although I'm worrying now, I've picked the wrong thing out and then it's something else. Yeah, I think it might be another thing that's exclusive actually. Yeah, it's this thing here that I'm creasing a little bit as I take it out. It's some lyrics for one of the tracks that are on the album. It's credited as Harmonic Sound, but that's a working title. This is the Kiss of Venus lyrics actually, so handwritten, although it's obviously a facsimile. I'll show you the disc as well. I think the colours of the 3 discs are all kind of similar, but the pattern of them are all different in the 3x3 series. And the one I've got, very pretty actually. This is classed as squashed concentric circles, I think. Very nice. So as long-time viewers know, I'm gradually collecting Paul McCartney's solo work, but it is very gradual as I'm kind of just waiting for the Half-Speed Masters to be coming out, which they seem to be at a rate of around 1 a year. But with this being his latest album, and probably not one that's due for a Half-Speed Master reissue in a long time, maybe ever, I figured, yeah, good price on Whatnot, 18 quid, very happy with McCartney 3. Resident Music in Brighton, they had a sale quite recently, up to 50% off, but obviously that varies, it could be a lower percentage. And I'm not sure the percentage discount I got for this, but it was good enough for me to purchase it. I think this came out to around just under 20 and then a bit more in postage, so about 25 altogether. It is Serge Gainsbourg's Histoire de Melody Nelson. So yeah, I collect Serge as and when really, if I see like a good offer. I'm never going to have a full discography, and nor do I particularly want one, but if I see a good bargain going on one of the many reissues that has come out from the Serge catalogue, I will get it. This one is a release from Light in the Attic, I believe. It's got this nice Obi strip on it that also advertises some of their other releases around the same time. Very influential album this, apparently, although it didn't do very well in the charts, even in Gainsbourg's native France. It's kind of gone down in retrospect as one of his best works and something that's very influential to a lot of other musicians. I'll show you the vinyl very quickly as it is rather nice. It's classed as, what does it say on the OB? Transparent blue and white. So the white is sort of like a marbling or spatter effect there, and it came with this kind of transparent inner sleeve as well, which I quite like. Nothing much else to say about it. Never heard the album. Just another one that I've kind of randomly put in my Serge Gainsbourg collection, but excited to hear it. Histoire de Melody Nelson. Right, now here's one that I'm very excited about, because this is one of my second actually, when I ranked all my favourite solo artists late last year. Second favourite solo musician. He had a new album that came out digitally. It came out on Halloween last year, and then they started shipping the vinyl, the CDs, the cassettes around December. I did have to chase this up from his record label, but they were very quick to respond and very apologetic and pleasant, and then I got it in a matter of days. So I think, even though I thought this was coming from America, they must have some UK distributor. But it is Sex Distortion, the new studio album from Picture Plane. Picture Plane is one of those people, it only ever seems to be me who talks about him here in the so-called vinyl community, but absolutely brilliant, kind of gothic dance. Witch house is a term that I think he invented, or someone in his kind of inner circle invented anyway. There's a lovely poster here, nice big one I think as well, so I'll try and fold it out and show you as best I can. Well, I mean, it's not massive, but I've had bigger posters, but nice nonetheless. I'll show you the inner and the disc itself. That's very nice. Kind of clear with red spatter, almost like a blood effect. Certainly looks that way on camera. I say it every time I show Picture Plane, and this is his first album in, I think, getting on for 5 years. So I haven't talked about him loads and loads in the interim, but do please check him out if you're into electronica and dance music. This is some good shit, I promise you. Sex Distortion. Alright, here's one from the artist's web store. I think it was Instagram that I was alerted to the fact he was releasing a new album. At first I wasn't sure if this was a live album or a studio album. I still believe it's a studio one, but if I end up being wrong, then so be it. I'd have still wanted it nonetheless. And it is DJ Bobo of Switzerland and his Great Adventure. Still sealed, this one. It's just black vinyl, I believe, so I'm not going to get it open. I've used his web store, which is run by Yes Music, his record label, a couple of times before, and they're always very prompt when you're pre-ordering or just ordering something, and they send it out pretty sharpish via DHL, I think it came, or DHL from kind of Switzerland to wherever, and then Parcel Force once it was in the UK. Anyway, that's not particularly interesting which couriers sent this, but I've only heard a bit of the title track so far, but it's cheesy Eurodance, and they don't get much cheesier than DJ Bobo. He does a lot of touring, not in this country, sadly, as I would go and see him, believe it or not. But I do collect his work. There's one album of his that just goes for too much on the aftermarket that I'd like on vinyl. I'm hoping it might get a repressing one day. And there's lots of his earlier work that's only come out on CD, cassette, digital, etc. that may or may not get reissued on wax in time. But that is DJ Bobo and the Great Adventure.
It's the great adventure, come follow me to the land of the legends, the land of the free. It's the great adventure, exciting to see. We discover the secrets, the magical places to be. Through the fire and back through the rain, the skeleton king will rise again. Walk tall and tall with eyes so bright. Brings the dark, he brings back the night. Stop! Cause you can tame the secret lust from the ancient flame. Big kings gonna rise from bone, can't fall again, won't stand alone. It's the great adventure, come follow me to the land of the legends, the land of the free. It's the great adventure, exciting to see. We discover the secrets, the magical places to be.
Right, 2 mail openings to do now, and both brand new albums. They just came out yesterday, and I've got them in the post this morning. First one is a purchase from Wax and Beans. They are based in Bury, Greater Manchester, and this is one in their series that I've talked about a couple of times in previous record roundups. It says, as he struggles to remove another mailer from within. New studio album from one of my favourite acts, and I'll be saying that again with the final mail opening as well. Oop, something dropped then, but I know what dropped. So here we have Wormslayer, the new album from Kula Shaker. It is a Now Spinning edition that's got a signed by the band Slice. A Slice, and I've talked about it before, it's a magnetic strip that you put onto a now playing record stand that Wax and Beans also provide. I am number 65 out of 250. All 4 signatures there. Lovely artwork. And it's the Indies edition, generally this, on crystal clear vinyl. I don't think I'll get this open actually, because we've seen other coloured vinyl, and one that was, if not crystal clear, then clear with red spatter a few moments ago anyway. So just to keep this video chugging along, because I know this one's going to be a bit longer than normal, I won't speak too much more or show you the record itself, but great to have Kula Shaker back. Their previous album, that only came out a couple of years ago, so they're nice and consistent now. And of course, I will properly keep that slice with this record as well. So the Now Spinning edition, I'm looking out for more Now Spinning editions. I know Embrace have announced a new studio album that I think's out in June. I actually ordered that from Townsend Music, as there was a nice little feature with the pre-order that I made there that I will show you when I eventually take possession of that record. But I would have been happy enough getting the Now Spinning with Embrace Slice, and I think Jacaranda Records were starting like an exclusive series as well with alternate sleeves. So it's nice. Certainly if you're kind of a Martin Harris about it and you like to collect multiple variants of the same format, then there's some nice kind of indie record shop led alternate editions coming out. That is Kula Shaker, that is Worm Slayer. And finally, I'm so excited to show you this. This is a first for me, not in relation to owning any of this band's material, because I've got all their albums. I'm a big fan. Saw them live back in 1997. Decided not to use my knife to get this open, and I'm making a mess of the mailer, but that doesn't matter. Now, I pre-ordered this back in July, so it's had a long pre-order period, but this is a particularly special edition. Am I in yet? I think so. Oh, I'm glad I checked the mailer, because we've got a signed bit there as well, which I'll show you in a sec. I think the only other thing's probably the invoice. Yeah, so I can chuck that out. Right, so the album is the latest studio album from Cast. Yeah. But look at that. It's liquid vinyl. I've never owned a liquid filled record before, so of course I've got to get this out and show you. Also, this came with a nice little signed print there, and as you can see, the front of the sleeve has been signed as well. The liquid vinyl hype sticker has been stuck on the outer protector there, so I'll make sure to keep that. Yeah, it does feel heavier than even maybe a 180 gram disc, but are you ready? I'm so excited to see this, as this is the first time I've ever owned a liquid filled record. Oh yeah, there we are. Well, very gimmicky, obviously. I can now say I've owned a liquid filled vinyl record. Classed as mouthwash effect, I think Cast call it, probably because of the big mouth on the front of the sleeve. Yeah, that's silly, but when it was announced, there's only 100 copies of these as well, and they sold out very quick. I consider myself quite fortunate to have got this. It is out obviously in other variants, black vinyl, some sort of colour variant I think, and there might even be 1 or 2 sleeve variants as well. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's so happy to have picked that up. It was a lot more expensive than any of the other editions, I think, including postage. There wasn't much change out of £80, so it's not like I'll be seeking out more similar discs really, unless it's an artist who I'm particularly fond of and it really catches my eye. But just to say that I've got a liquid-filled vinyl record, I'm delighted about. And it's great to have Cast back as well. So yeah, their new album, can't wait to hear it.
There is something that I want that I just can't seem to find. Stranded somewhere in my head, in the back streets of my mind. All the bright ideas quickly form and fade away. Or maybe you can keep them somewhere for a rainy day. Oh no, oh yeah, that's just the way it's got to be. Oh no, oh yeah, that's just the way it's got to be. Can it be so simple that it's just too plain to see? All the while the answers have been stood in front of me.
And that was Records Roundup number 94. Loads here that I can't wait to hear. Picture Plane, brilliant that I finally got his album, as I just love his work so much. Always good to have Britpop veterans Cast and Cooler Shaker releasing new albums, especially as they spent a period of time in the 2000s split up. And of course lots of other good stuff as well, both new and old, to listen to. So thank you for watching this, and special thanks go to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm gonna go now, and please join me again for the next Records Roundup and my next record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya.